Woo! Six for Sixers podcast in the building. This is a great day for the Six for Sixers podcast and for the Philadelphia 76ers and for their fans. Sixers rolled up into Cleveland. Only have won 2 out of the last 10 games. And seemed unlikely against a second place Cleveland Cavaliers team in Cleveland, but the Sixers pulled it out in grand style and went down to the last buzzer. So props to the Sixers. They got a big win, 123-121 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And man, I'm so proud of the team tonight. Impressive win. Proves that we are formidable. We are contenders in the East. And also, if we are able to get Embiid back, we're going to be in some really good shape. The Six for Sixers podcast, I'm your host, Creek. So excited I forgot to tell my name. But what we do in the Six for Sixers podcast is we break down post-game and we break down anything Sixer related in 6 points. Usually 6 points. Sometimes we go into overtime with a 7th or 8th point, but usually we do 6 points, and we're going to do it quick tonight. All right, let's break it down. Point number 1 to this win was Paul Reed. Paul Reed came through in the clutch. I'm not really sure what Nick Nurse was doing in the closing minutes with the rotation, because he went Bamba and then he went no center, basically playing small ball, which hurt us because on that one sequence we were unable to get a rebound. Cleveland ended up rebounding offensively and then put up a 3-point shot, which brought them, I think within like 1 point in the closing minutes. So I wasn't sure why Reed did that, took Bamba out, because I thought we needed at least one player who can grab a board. I guess, I don't know, maybe trying to match what Cleveland was doing. But still, he brought Paul Reed in, and Bamba was out, went to small ball. Paul Reed came in for like the last 2 plays, and Paul Reed delivered the game-winning block. So shout out to Paul Reed. It was a perfect block. He went straight up. No leaning in, because, big guys, they can't lean in because they're going to get the foul call. Straight up, both hands in the air, was able to block Donovan Mitchell going to the basket. And Mitchell had a really good drive to the basket, and Reed just blocked it. Cleveland did get a last-second 3-point attempt up. Was not successful. Garland did put one up, came off the rim. Sixers win. That shot would have won it for them, so thank God. But good effort by Paul Reed. That's my point number 1. Nurse shifted up the big men a lot, but he got it right in the very end. That's really all that matters, is the W. Point number 2, Maxey played a balanced game tonight. By balance, I mean that with the addition of Hield, we really didn't need Maxey, and really probably going forward aren't going to need Maxey to score that 30-point or over 25 points. Really, Maxey can really cruise in between 20 to around 20, 22, 23 points. Tonight, Maxey's 22 points and 9 for 21 shooting. And the most impressive thing I like about Maxey's game tonight was he had the 9 assists. With Hield in the backcourt with him, he's going to get more assists because Hield has been putting up, over 20 points. We'll get to that later. But I think this is good for Maxey. It takes a little bit of the pressure off him for the scoring load. It takes a little bit of pressure off him to be the only deep threat on the team, because really he was one of the very few deep threats from the team, consistently, lethally shooting 3-pointers. And now we have Hield, spaces out the floor a little bit, and allows Maxey to move and get more assists. I would like to see Maxey do a lot more penetrating and dishes. He draws a lot of attention when he goes to the basket, but he goes fearlessly, very rarely kicks. And it probably would be a lot of great opportunity, open shooting opportunity, especially now with the 2 new additions to get some wide open 3-point shots. Shout out to Maxey. Great balanced game, 22 points, 9 assists. Third point, Mo Bamba. He was in the game in the fourth quarter. The majority of the fourth quarter. Reed came in at the very end of the fourth. Bamba looked slow, though. I know Bamba's nursing a sore knee, but he looked really slow. He looked slow to rotations. They were just in their interior game was pretty solid against him. Even Mitchell Garland went to the basket a few times, and Bamba was just very late to rotate. So I'm not sure Bamba. I know he's nursing that sore knee, but he's basically trying to play through it. But he looked a little slow. I think I would opt for Reed in those to get the lion's share of the time at the center position. Even though Reed can be unpredictable, at least he's not injured. At least he's moving a little bit better than Mo Bamba right now. But who knows? I go back and forth with that. Sometimes I like Reed, and sometimes I think Reed is all over the place, and I like Bamba. But tonight I thought Reed would have been a better fit, I thought, defensively. And proved it in the end because he came through and he basically won that game in the end for us. So that's point number 3. Mo Bamba was in the game in the fourth quarter, came out, nursing a sore knee, just wasn't moving around, effectively on the floor defensively. Point number 4, the most impressive stat of the night is the balanced scoring. Balanced scoring, I mean everybody getting involved, and we don't always see that with the Sixers. When Embiid is in there, it's Embiid, Maxey. I think if Embiid comes back, that's going to be a changed up scenario. We had all 5 of our starters hit double figures, and then we also had Cam Payne off the bench with 15. Ricky Council IV had 8 points, almost hit that 10-point mark. So we had a total of 6 of our players in double figures, and that's a great balance. Not just one guy scoring 60 or 70 or 40 and the other guy scoring 30 and then leave nothing but scraps for the rest of the team. It's good ball movement. The ball's rotating around the floor, and different guys at any moment can kill you. That's what made us effective tonight. That's what's really going to make us effective in the future. That's what's going to get us into the playoffs. So great sharing of the ball, great ball movement, great player movement. Guys seem to be more hungry because they believe they have a shot at getting the ball. And so we're going to go to the next point. Point number 5 is shout out to the new floor spacers. Cam Payne and Buddy Hield have showed up and showed out as Sixers. They have been great additions to the team. Cam Payne coming off the bench in what would have been Pat Bev's position has done very well, at least from a scoring perspective. Now, we know we like Pat Bev's attitude. He has that dog mentality, and he was a fierce defender everywhere on the floor. Pat Bev had that leadership capability. But in terms of raw scoring, energy, I do like what Cam Payne brings to the table. And I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say I was wrong on that, because I still would probably prefer Pat Bev, but I like Cam Payne. He really played well tonight. 15 points, 4 for 10 total. Not a great shooting night, but 4 assists added in. That's just the kind of spark we need off the bench. So again, welcome to Philly, Cam Payne. Buddy Hield, can't say enough about Buddy. 9 for 13 from the field, 24 points. Buddy Hield tied, with Oubre for the leading scorer tonight, but also 8 assists by Buddy Hield. The only bad thing was that he fouled out in the end, and that's uncharacteristic at the guard position, but that's to be expected. He played hard. And he did have that one bump, that play where he threw the ball away and allowed the Cavs to kind of get back in the game. But man, you'll live with those. You'll live with those. He'll 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. He spaces that floor out, so teams are not just bearing down on Maxey, but having to also account for Buddy Hield is an added advantage. So shout out to the floor spacers, Healed and Pain. Welcome to Philly. You brothers are really, really putting in work at a much needed time for us. So hopefully they stay reliable and they stay into it and they stay, and it's going to get better as the chemistry gets better on the team. They are going to do even better when everybody starts playing together and understands everyone else's tendencies. So shout out to those two. And my last point, number 6, Kelly Oubre Jr. Kelly Oubre Jr. showed out today, 24 points, and really was his efficiency 10 for 14 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. He was like unconscious tonight. He even shot that errant 3 in the last couple of minutes of the game, and Hill was like, yo, because he didn't try to run any clock or anything. He just jacked up a 3, but it went in. So Kelly Oubre is really, with Harris being out tonight, he was really, really instrumental in taking those minutes and also taking that scoring efficiency that Harris sometimes brings with 24 points. I hope Oubre can keep that up. If we can get that kind of Oubre every night, we really, really going to be a problem. So shout out to Oubre. That was a great win, highly efficient by the team. 42% from 3-point, 54.5% field goal percentage. A great win all the way around. And we were still short Batum. We were short Covington. We were short Melton. We were short Harris. And also, obviously, we're short Embiid. So if we were able to get all those guys back healthy, you're looking at a really, really strong team that can contend in the East or the West for the national for the championship. So shout out to the team. Great win. Ricky Council, the 4th. Great ice water in your veins. Hitting those 2 clutch free throws. And they tried to get in his head, and it didn't work. He earned his veteran. He earned his stripes tonight. So keep balling, young player, because you really put in some work tonight. And obviously after the last game, really looked like Nurse trusted you in the closing minutes. So clap your hands, everybody, for Philadelphia 76ers. Shout out to the team. Until next time, this is the 6 for Sixers podcast. I am your host, Creek. Like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your uncle, tell your sister, tell your brother about the 6 for Sixers podcast. Hit me up at the6forsixers@gmail.com. And also, you can join us on the Facebook page at the 6 for Sixers, only for true 76ers fans. Till next time, peace.